What made you decide it was time to start this journey, and why did you choose to work with me specifically?
So I just reached a point where I was tired of how I was feeling. I had a million excuses for why I couldn't do it. Anything from like time to injury to having a new baby and breastfeeding, you name it. So I was still wearing my maternity clothes. An embarrassing story. I even went to get a pedicure with my mom one day, and the woman doing my nails asked if I was having a boy or a girl. And this was like months postpartum. And I
Damn.
was like, it destroyed me.
Oh my God. I didn't even know that.
That was awful. And then people tell you, they'll come up to you and they'll be even just acquaintances and they'll be like, the weight just falls off when you're breastfeeding and postpartum, which is just like a big load of crap. Like it's not true at all. It takes work. And then I think one of the final things is I saw a video and it had a quote in it. It said something to the extent of, if you switch bodies or fitness level with your child right now, would you be happy or proud of how they were taking care of themselves? And that gutted me. I'm overweight and I need to be a better example for my son. So ultimately that was the final push that I needed to kind of like push into, I've got to do something different here.
Super powerful. And I think that's big for a lot of parents. You get such a big why, which
Yeah.
is what I try to tell people when they go to start their fitness journey, that I'm like, this has to be deeper than just wanting a six pack or just looking hot. You know what I mean? Like when you have something deeper that's burning inside of you of like, I want to be able to keep up when my kid is playing outside or set a better example for them. Like that's such a big why. That's going to keep you determined to continue on your fitness journey and actually follow through and finish. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. It's powerful stuff. Seriously. When the lady was doing your nails, did you tell her like, "Hey, I actually just had a baby"?
No, I like couldn't bring myself to do it. Everyone tells you in those moments that you're going to be like so blunt and forthcoming and like you're going to tell people, but I was like, "Oh, it's a boy." Like I didn't have the balls to tell her.
Because it catches you off guard too. You're like, don't really see it coming. All of a sudden, you're like trying to process it. You're like, did she really just ask that? Like,
It goes back to say like just never.
never ask, never assume.
It was tough.
Whenever you think you're safe, it's not. And then right before we did the InBody scan, you seem to be feeling a little bit unsure about your progress. So we were at that 4 week mark. You've been working your ass off for 4 weeks. You're about to hop on the InBody scan. What was kind of going through your head at that point?
Okay, so I had big plans. Like I was on the edge of throwing in the towel. Like this is hard. It takes so much work. And the problem was the scale doesn't show you your work. You lose all this weight and then you gain muscle so you have no idea where you're at and like your progress. And then that in combination with female hormones affecting your water weight that you're putting on and off each month or each week, you're just completely lost until you do the InBody. So I was just, I don't know. I don't know where my head was at.
I remember you saying though, like kind of had this like look in your eyes. I don't remember exactly verbatim what you said, but it was kind of this thing of like, this InBody better show me some results and like some crazy ones. Otherwise, like I don't know if I'm gonna like keep going on
Yeah.
this route.
I feel like you almost hit your breaking point like multiple times during a program or like during this experience. And so it's just like you have to live day to day, just like in postpartum. Like you're living day to day and you're celebrating your daily wins and then just suffering and like making it through the stuff that's hard. So that one was a win.
What do you think is the hardest part?
I mean, it's a balance, right? Like it's I don't know. Like you're constantly told or your brain tells you you don't have enough time. You don't have enough time for anything. And you see that a lot postpartum. As soon as you turn around, they're like, they're closing in on a year. They start crawling, looking like they're walking. Life just goes at you so fast and it doesn't feel like it's been almost a year since I gave birth. It feels like it was yesterday. But I think the hardest part, honestly, is just you always think you have more time. And I think that's like an overarching umbrella for like life in general. So it's deciding to do it now, like pulling the trigger instead of holding on to the excuses that you always have.
Mm-hmm. And just like you said, the time, it flies by so fast. So a lot of times we're like, oh, I'll start it on Monday or after the holidays or once we get back from this vacation or after this. And then all of a sudden you look back and you've been wanting to reach your goal for 5 years now. And you're like, why haven't I reached it yet? Like, why haven't I taken action on this? And it's because there's always something coming up that
Yeah.
pushes that goal back. And it's really just like you said about taking action and getting it done now because we can't get any of that time back. So,
Yeah. For me, it was like first Mother's Day is coming, and my
mhm.
birthday is going to be when I like am doing this program, and I'm not going to be able to eat what I want or go have a cocktail. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Like it's 12
Yeah.
weeks. I'll get it done.
Exactly. Yeah. And if anything, you'll look back, if you don't do it, you'll look back and be like, God, I should have started this, 5 years ago. Versus if you do it, I highly doubt you'll remember, like, oh, remember that one Mother's Day, that one birthday that I didn't eat an entire chocolate cake to the face. Like, I
Yeah.
wish I would have. It's like you don't miss out on those moments like in the future. It's like giving up that short-term satisfaction for that long-term satisfaction gain. So, and then we saw the results from the InBody scan. You had dropped over 8 pounds of body fat and gained over 1.5 pounds of muscle. How did that moment feel for you?
It was like relief, like a weight off my shoulders, but not yet because I'm like only a third of the way through, right? Like,
More work to be done.
yeah. So it was the first moment I think I've had in years where I felt like I could do this. I've tried to lose weight in the past and I've felt helpless, almost like it didn't matter what I did. Everything promises this like guaranteed quick fix, and being postpartum, trying to navigate weight loss and then while breastfeeding and taking care of a newborn is such a delicate balance, and then you're like, is this going to be what tips the scale kind of thing? And like you can lose yourself a bit after having a baby. I think all moms can relate to that. We've
Oh
talked
yeah.
about it. And so maybe not every day, right? But as this goes on, I get closer and closer to feeling a little bit more human and like myself again. And so that's kind of how I'm treating it, as like this is my investment in getting myself back so I can take care of my family better.
Have you noticed a difference since you started the program with anything in regards to motherhood, like your patience level, your energy levels? Like, do you feel like you're able to show up better or worse since starting?
I mean, far and beyond, like massive difference in energy. And like, I guess you don't realize it in the moment when the weight's on, but like, you don't realize how hard it is to like kneel down on the floor with your kid or get up or pick them up, or how much your muscles have like atrophied and fatigued over the course of, your pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
My core strength was not there. I couldn't sit up at all. It's wild. We have bodies that are truly incredible, what they do and create life and all this stuff. But what's left in its wake afterwards is wild. So I have more energy. I recover better when like the baby's not sleeping, and that was a big one for me because I've struggled with anemia. So uh, this has been huge because any little piece of me that gives me energy is just, there's no amount of coffee that would fix the tiredness. It doesn't matter.
I do not make enough coffee in the world.
No, no, would not help. So yeah, this has been huge.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we talked about it a little bit today, even as we were training. The postpartum, they give you this 6 week window of like, okay, and you kind of expect like, all right, at 6 weeks, I'm going to be back to myself. And it's like, oh man, it's after your first, it's such a shift of life going from kind of just being independent. Even when you're in a relationship, you still like, oh, I'm gonna get up and go to the gym. Oh, I'm gonna shower. Oh, I'm gonna go eat. Like your whole world gets rocked when you have your first kid. You're like, okay, my 24 hours are not all mine. They are mine and my babies. And trying to just navigate and stay on top of everything. It's like so every couple days we come up for air, like we gain ourselves, we get above water and we're like and then we're back under. Sometimes it just feels like you're drowning, like you said, with all the things to do. That the to-do list just never ends, like laundry and dishes and cooking and taking care of the baby and getting the naps and the playtime, and then on top of it trying to take care of yourself. It's a juggling act, really.
It just comes down to your priorities. What
Yeah.
what do you what do you want to get done today? What do you have to get done today? And a lot of times the self-care is not a have to, and you just have to shift kind of the way you look at it, because I was prioritizing him.
Mm-hmm.
I was prioritizing like the things I thought my son needed, but then if you truly think about it, like you being healthy, taking care of yourself, and being able to interact with them is such a gift. And in order to do that, you have to take time to like invest in yourself. And
Mhm.
it was something I've been struggling to do for a really long time, even before getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Pregnancy weight gain is not even an excuse for me because it's been a long road for me.
Yeah. I remember being younger and being on the airplanes, and they're like, even to the parents, like, don't put your child's oxygen mask on first. You always put yours. And I'm like, that is fucked up. Like, looking at my parents, like, you better put mine on before, you go put. And it's interesting. Like, I feel like it really wasn't until I became a parent that you start to see like the days that you don't take care of yourself, and sometimes it's out of your control. Like sometimes the baby's just up, 8 times a night, and you got shitty sleep. And like you said, there's not enough coffee in the world to fix that. And the days that you aren't able to take care of yourself, you're off of no sleep, you haven't gotten to work out, you barely have enough time, like in the early stages of having a newborn, you barely have enough time to wipe your own ass or cook your own meal. Like, God forbid. Yeah, it's crazy how the days that you get good sleep, maybe you got to work out, you got to eat healthy, you got to drink enough water, whatever it is, however you take care of yourself, you show up so much better on those days. I feel like such a better mom. I'm more patient. I have more energy. I just don't snap as quick. Like I just overall am a better human. And so I think it's really big. It starts to kind of come full circle and make sense that okay, that's why you put your oxygen mask on, because if you take care of yourself, you're actually equipped to take care of others now. You can pour from a cup that, actually has some juice left in it.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It might not be a lot, but it's got a little in there. Oh, man. And just kind of throughout that whole journey, how has having a coach during your postpartum fitness journey helped you stay on track, stay motivated, or even just see things differently?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a wild time. We haven't been even doing this very long. So I've had my moments already. What are we in week 5, 6?
Six.
So the baby's not sleeping, or I'm struggling with my milk supply, or everyone in the house has daycare plague. And then, like, I have a postpartum trainer that's in the trenches with me. I show up as a human and not perfect, so that makes a massive difference. And then I've missed workouts, and then I didn't have the perfect meals. And honestly, you gave me perspective that this whole experience wasn't all or nothing, which was huge. I think that messing up a meal or missing a workout wouldn't derail my progress. Like, I'd beat myself up, and you freaking rallied. Like, you forced me to take a step back and look at a big picture. And sometimes when you're in it, even just talking like postpartum, not even workouts, like sometimes when you're in like this hole, you just need somebody to shine a light and be like, listen, the stairs are over there. You can climb right out of this. It's not a big deal. And so I think that's been what's huge. I can shoot you a message or a text and be like, today sucked and I'm just angry. And you're like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
If another postpartum woman is watching this and feeling unsure or stuck, what would you want her to know?
So when you sent me this question, I'll be honest, I thought about it a lot because motherhood's filled with just a bunch of like shitty advice that you have to like sort through. So like mothers have a level of strength that can't be measured, right? Especially postpartum. You've seen your body transform into something that you can't even recognize in the mirror, and then your brain even remodels itself, which is wild to think about. So you're quite literally breathing life into another human and then sacrificing yourself to do it. So for me, my postpartum fitness journey had nothing to do with my ability, because like every mom, or all the moms that I'm surrounded with on a daily basis, they're some of the strongest women that I've ever met. But it had everything to do with my willingness to embrace the suck. So the only message I have is that if somebody's watching this and they feel stuck, it's that they're not alone, and that they can do this. And there are generations of women cheering you on.
I love it. That's awesome. That's really cool. And it is true. It's like you said, it's such a shift, not only physically, but also mentally. I feel like it's like an identity shift. You're like, who am I? Like, I'm this person past life that I was living before. Like, I don't even know this is like a new era, and you're kind of like reinventing yourself. That's awesome. And like you said, it's something that if you put your mind to it, you absolutely can do it. You just gotta be ready and be committed. But also be down for the chaos. Like, no, it's not going to be, I'm going to start this program and I'm going to be perfect every single week and then I'm going to lose the weight every single week. You know, it's like there's ups and downs and obstacles that come along and you just got to keep pushing through and you will get there.
That's been a roller coaster.
And we're not even, well, we're barely halfway.
We're almost there.
Almost halfway. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Seriously, I appreciate it. And like I said, it's really cool because we've done a good job over the years since we started of getting the before and afters, but there's so much in the middle that happens that kind of just goes missed because we haven't really like shared it or talked about it to where other people could see it. So this is awesome because yeah, it's like you'd be surprised how many women are in the same boat. And I just feel like even having another woman be like, hey, yeah, that's normal. Like I felt that too. It's like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like I thought I was for a minute there, you know?
Well, that was what was big about using you as my, I don't even think I answered this earlier, like why I chose you as my trainer. I mean, that was the biggest part, right? Like I've worked with trainers in the past and I figured out that I really need someone that I can be my authentic self with. So like dark humor, words and all.
Yeah.
Like not to mention being in the trenches of motherhood and like having someone understand that like my feelings are normal.
Yeah.
It just helps. And then this particular journey, like not just motherhood and postpartum, but like fitness and fixing all of the weight that I've gained over the years has been all encompassing. It's mentally, physically, emotionally taxing. And so what was super important was I needed to pick a trainer that fit me. And, you know, thank God, right?